Welcome everybody to this week's episode of In the Library of Graphic Literature, and we have some gigantic books. And welcome your host, Wallace Ryan!
Yay! Thank you.
And if you don't already know, I'm Luna.
There's Luna. Now today, Luna is actually, you've been promoting for this pushing for this very episode. It's big books, so big comic books, things that are big. Now, I figured we'd start with possibly the biggest one. Here, feel this as a matter of fact. Check this
like
out.
20 pounds? Oh my goodness, yes.
It's 16 pounds of Wolverine. This is the famous adamantium edition.
It's heavy.
Isn't it, hey?
You can hold it with one hand.
And the main reason I bought this was for one of my favorite, where is it? One of my favorite Wolverine stories of all time are in it, called Weapon X, with that amazing artwork.
Show the people.
By Barry Windsor Smith. Oh my God, this does weigh a ton. But I mean, it's one of my favorite Wolverine stories, and there's no better way to show it off than to have it in this format here. Very beautifully done. I tell you, that Barry Windsor Smith had it going on.
I'll tell you.
That's the same one. Oh, let me see if I can get one more page there. One of the best illustrated Wolverine stories of them all. Whew.
There you go, let's unpack here.
And it comes in, this box here. Show them the slip case. And I can even remember when they first put it out, they said this thing weighs 16 pounds. And it does, doesn't it, hey? It's possibly the heaviest thing in among all these editions. But yeah, I bought it mainly for the Weapon X. I'll put this to the side here. We won't destroy any other books. Whew, that was a heavy one, wasn't it? Next one is not as big as that, but it's still big in very many ways. This is
Little Sammy Sneeze.
Yeah, by Winsor McCay, by the same person who brought you Little Nemo. And this was a cool little mini strip where it always ended up with Sammy sneezing and like knocking over buildings or whatever it was at the time. There we go. They were very nicely done. I always do like, and there's some other ones.
Don't you have like 20 books bigger than this one?
Oh yeah. But this I like just because it was these strips done very large, right? See him there, little Sammy sneeze. He always ended up sneezing something.
This duck has like an emo hairstyle. It's like, tonight will be the night I will fall for you.
That was sort of a side strip, but the main one in this is the Little Sammy Sneeze. But I even love the name, the Little Sammy Sneeze. This one, and I like the format. It's like a nice long one here. Actually, my original of this, I got damaged in a move, so it was one of the few that I actually had to replace. Now this is big, maybe not as big as it originally was. When this came out in 2008, it was in newspaper format. So I mean, it was like reading a big newspaper. And it was called
Wednesday Comics.
And Wednesday Comics was this cool collection of newspaper stories, newspaper formatted stories by a bunch of different artists. This is like the Batman one. And it ran for, geez, how many, was it 13 episodes? Or I can't remember how many weeks it ran here. It probably says here. But it ran for, God, how many issues? Anyway, I first bought it when I was living down in New York, and Mitch at St. Mark's Comics, he kept telling me, "Oh, you had to buy this Wednesday Comics newspaper, and because you'd really love it and all that." And it got to the 4th issue, and I still hadn't bought it, and he had only one issue left, one copy of issue 1. So I bought it and I went around the corner to have a cup of tea, and after reading the first one I went back and bought the other three. And then bought the rest in the series, but they are sort of great, you know, newspaper sized comic strips. With all kinds of people, superheroes from Supergirl to Superman, Batman. There's a Wonder Woman in it, Metal Man, that's the Wonder Woman's one. A Metamorpho by Hawkman. And
That's quite the variety.
yeah, there's even a Metamorpho strip by Neil Gaiman.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was all kinds of different, but I love the big size of it. And like I say, the original size itself, this is Paul Pope's Adam Strange, but just great comics. But the best thing was the format. It was just like reading a big, huge newspaper when you were in the subway. And it was funny, like I say, a lot of people when I was reading mine, they were looking at it like, what's going on here, right? Now back to the heavy books again. And this one, of course, is
Little Nemo!
da-da-da-da, the complete... Yes, this one definitely deserves the jazz hands.
Spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers. Little Nemo started way back in the 1900s. This is a book came out maybe about 10 years ago, Tashin. But I mean, it's big. I've had other collections of Little Nemo, but never the complete thing. And this has them all together, but it has them at a nice, beautiful size too, right? So, in full color. I mean, it was one of your early comic books. A very surreal type of thing. It always ended with the last panel with little Nemo waking up back in his bed again. But it was like he was having continuous dreams. And, I mean, for the time, this is like the early 1900s. For the time and all that, it was very sophisticated. Great drawings, right?
I'm quite the fan.
Yeah.
I love the style.
Yeah. I love there was one episode where they get loose in downtown New York, and it's just fabulously drawn. But very, very wild, totally outrageous adventures I'm going to have to lay this over here every week. And boy, that one is heavy. So that was three. I have 10 books in all.
I really like the Nintendo game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yes, it was a Nintendo game, wasn't it? I forgot about that. Oh, okay. Next up in our list is
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, and Jungle Jim, who appears in the bottom part of it. This was I liked it when they had the full page adventures back and forth. Flash Gordon, of course, the science fiction character of note, and he created way back when by Alex Raymond, who also did the Jungle Jim strip. But back then everyone was swiping or copying from Alex Raymond because his figures were so beautiful and so full of adventure. So they'd either rip him off or rip off some other famous artist, but he was one of the ones that they constantly ripped off. An amazing artist himself. He was killed many years later in a car crash. He crashed a car and it was him and another famous cartoonist in it. Oh, and they're just beautifully drawn. Even as a kid, I can remember finding Flash Gordon strips in the library. There's a book there I found, and I was like, oh my God, look at this artwork. This is like the 1935, and the artwork to me looked like as good as any of the modern artwork that we were seeing, right? So yeah, and this is part of the Library of American Comics, and of course this is, like I say, I have this one. This one, I have the entire set, and I have an entire set of, I think minus one book of in the library itself. On we go. So that's was it 3, 4, 5? These are in no particular order actually. This was the George Harriman's
Krazy Kat.
Now this was another early comic strip and very avant-garde. It was made as much, well, there was even a little card thing came with it. It was made as much for adults, even more so than for kids, right? Very avant-garde, surreal type of comic strips that didn't go essentially anywhere. But the publisher, I can't remember if was it Hearst or was it maybe it was Hearst, loved this guy's comic strip, and he owned the newspaper syndicate, so he got all his newspapers to carry it just because he liked it. And it's very unique, very different, very, like, it's almost nonsensical in a lot of ways, right?
So how come you left so many big books, like really big ones, over there?
Well, I got sort of examples of them here. So this is from a Sunday Press book, so that's what a couple of those are.
Those are bigger.
No, they're about the same, because the middle thing there is that's more just empty envelopes. I have artworks, right? So the other ones are as big as these, right? As I'll show you now.
Well, as big as these, not that one.
No, not that one. But I figured, I had so many of them baked out anyway. I wanted a nice variety, right? And this is Walter and Skizik's, or this is essentially a strip that was known as Gasoline Alley.
Yeah.
From way back when. I think it still runs today. It was a continuing strip where the characters aged with it. So there were characters that started with that grew up, and some who died as the years went on, everything like that. But it was very beautifully drawn. Now this copy, someone came into the store, this must have been 10, 15 years ago with this, and he sold it to Jason for, he had a bunch of other stuff, but Jason looked at it and he sort of said to me, do you want that if I bought the rest of it? I was like, oh yeah, I'll give it to you for, I think, $25 or something like that. It was worth about $100, right? So I jumped right on it. And I'll open it up here. There it's, I like these big size ones here. We'll put it right next to you for scale.
Luna for scale.
But yeah, beautifully drawn. Very, very different type of line work and I guess different from your average adventure comics type of thing. But they were kind of cool. I love the drawing style of it. And this was put out. Now I thought this was put out by Drawn and Quarterly is what I'm thinking. Because they did a series of these too, right? Let's see. No, this is a Sunday Press book too. Sunday Press, I think they also did the Little Sammy Sneeze. They do a couple of the ones that are involved in this, and so of course most of them were going to be that because it's just so huge.
This one.
Oh, we'll do that one last. That's the champion. Next up, we're back again to Little Nemo. Dun-dun-dun. Now this is a more modern book. This is from, oh God, let's see. These are the type of thing, it's hard to open on stage here. You almost got to open them on a bedside or on something big where you can look in at it. This was, oh, here we go. This was from, okay, 2014. So this is 11 years old. Anyway, this is a bunch of people got together to do homage comics, to Little Nemo. And they had all kinds of artists, like, I'll read from the back. Laura Allred, Michael Allred, let's see, Peter Bagg, Steve Bissett, Mark Buckingham, Xander Cannon, John Cassidy, all kinds of people, Dean Haspel, Mike Lee, Paul Pope, Craig Thompson, right on through down to Robert Woods, Jose Villarrubia, But yeah, a lot of great artists, and they all did their sort of take on Little Nemo, drawing it sort of similar in some cases, sometimes very different. But this is one of my favorite of the big books, though, because it's not only it's Little Nemo, but it's also Little Nemo done in a new drawing style. I do believe that's P. Craig Russell's here. It looks like just upside down here. Yeah, who'd done the Graveyard Book.
Oh yeah.
And some other stuff. One of my favorite artists of all time. Let's switch. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So very, very different. I think this is Dave Rubin. It looks like. I mean, beautiful drawings and some some did sort of a standard Little Nemo. Some went really wild with it, right? Here, I'll get up close to so people can have a look at this one there. But absolutely crazy. It was. Oh, there's. Oh, this one's nice there too. Oh, let's show the people what they're missing here. But it's one of my favorite. Oh yeah, look. So I mean, so every page is a different one, and a whole different style. So it's for anyone who out there who loves Little Nemo. Dream Another Dream is a must. It's the best homage book that I can think of.
Oh, that's nice.
Absolutely. I mean, every page is a masterpiece in this book. Oh, here it is. Dream Another Dream. I think this was Locust Moon Press. I think it was. I don't think this was Sunday. Oh, yeah, Locust Moon Press. An amazing book. I don't know if they put out any more, but that was an amazing one. Okay, and
Next
we're down
up,
to
we
our
have
last two.
Moebius.
Da-da-da-da.
Le Grange.
Yeah. Hermetic. The Airtight Garage in English. This is one of my favorite stories.
Wait, what?
This is one of my favorite stories.
No, but before that, Le Garage.
Le Garage Hermetic.
Le Garage Hermetic.
The Airtight Garage is what it translates to, and it's one of my favorite of Moebius' stuff. I had it in a smaller edition, black and white, but this one I like because it's full. It's huge, absolutely huge, and of course the artwork in it, which is I'll stand up and check out that artwork, right? It's very fine pen and ink, so it works very well in this book.
Show them, not me. I get it.
But yeah, this to me is my favorite. I'd found a book of this back in the 80s at Forbidden Planet in New York City, and it was a French one like this, but this one's much, much bigger, and this has several pages that were not in that one. So it's one I had to have. Absolutely. I mean, the detail in it, everything fine ink artwork. You can't get that with no bloody AI now, can you? And like I said, there's a couple of pages that are included in it, like this one that wasn't in the original collection.
Okay.
So when I seen it, I had to have it, and I have it. So I have two copies of this. This is my favorite though, because it's so big and beautiful, so big, bold, and beautiful. And now the champion of the big books here today. Here, I'm gonna lay this down so I can lay it down on top of it. Is okay. We get to unbox it, as a matter of fact.
Really? Looks pretty old to be unboxed.
Yeah, it's. Oh, let me see here now.
It's giving Art Deco.
Yeah, it's. Hang on a second. first. Oh, hang on a sec. Oh. I think I got it here.
Do you need help, sir?
Yes, I think I do. Oh. And this one is big, but bold and beautiful. Oh, there you go. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da.
I'll be upside down.
Nope.
No.
Da-da-da-da. And here we go. Let's let it drop out. Okay, do you want to take that away? Oh. Now this one comes with the original poster here too of, I don't know if this was size as.
My dear. Nice, nice.
Da-da-da. So it's Prince Valiant, da-da-da-da, the famous comic strip by Hal Foster, who was from Nova Scotia as it turns out, not an American, but a Canadian. And I assume this, I think this is a size as, like the size that he actually drew them at. But of all the, ones, even the ones, of all the big books that I have, even the ones on the show, this still is without doubt the biggest. Let me see if I can slide this out here without damaging the. And these are actually quite dear. Oh, quite expensive. Oh, okay. And this is basically, shows the original artwork. So it's almost two. So they've shot basically the original artwork just to produce, to show you what before it was colored, because it was a color strip.
Okay.
And I do have these actually in color. But when I seen this and I got it for dirt cheap, I just had to have it. And yeah, definitely, without doubt. And it has this new, neat little inset cover to it. See how So, and it is without doubt the heaviest one there too. Okay, yeah, that's too heavy for me to continue. But yeah, I forgot about this thing though. This thing I could almost get it framed, right?
Yes, I should have it up.
Check this out, people. And once again, Hal Foster, he like Alex Raymond, was someone that all these other artists would copy when doing fight scenes and stuff like that. Because look, he had great anatomy, great fight scenes, beautifully drawn. He was the man. So anyway, so we end up with Prince Valiant from Hal Foster. 10 great big books for you to have a look at. Most of them are still in print. I don't think the Little Dream is. This one isn't actually, come to think of it.
Dream a little dream of me.
Yeah. Now most of them, come to think of it, most of these are probably out of print. Now that I actually think about it, right? The Adamantinium edition is, the Dream a Little Dream, this one, the Skee-Six, I'm pretty sure is. But yeah, so not only were they big, but they're rare too. So big, beautiful, and hard to get. So next week, hopefully, we'll have some new comics. If not some new comics, and might do another show like I don't know, Lila's Comics, or I don't know. I'll still think about that.
I think we did that one.
Probably did. But I'll do if we don't have any new comics in, we'll do some sort of retrospective anyway.
But there were so many other bigger books.
I know. Maybe we could do another big books at some time.
It's gonna have to be a part 2.
A part 2.
I better get my way this time.
Okay, folks, thanks for having us over, and we'll see you in a week's time.
Ciao.
Bye. See you later.